Watch how these indicator lights shift automatically across this dashboard landscape. By linking strict conditional formatting rules directly to your raw data, your reports deliver immediate, clear answers without requiring the user to interpret a single number. If you are still building reports using the standard, unformatted text cards, even your most accurate data is going to look outdated. The newly released Card Visuals update solves this problem. With a highly structured format menu, you can build professional, interactive KPIs directly into your workspace. To build these structures yourself, you only need two prerequisites: an updated version of the Power BI desktop application and a basic dataset populated with a few calculated measures. Managing these specific design layers gives you precise control over which numbers a viewer notices first and how they interpret those values the moment they open the report. Here in Step 1, we start with a blank canvas. The immediate objective is to drag three disparate metrics, like sales, quantity, and cost, and drop them into one centralized visual block. The format hierarchy lets you instantly restructure that block into a stacked vertical column, a horizontal row, or a compact grid. Notice how the entire block updates simultaneously. Establish your global design style first using Apply to All, and only override individual cards afterward. First, we apply our global shape. We switch the default rectangle to a rounded rectangle, and we drop the corner radius down to exactly 10 pixels for a smoother edge. Next, we build visual depth. We apply a light background color to separate the card from the canvas, snap a heavy accent bar to the left edge, and add a subtle drop shadow beneath the entire block. On the left is the standard cluttered interface, and on the right is our unified block. Because the formatting pane has a deep hierarchy, make sure to close menus as you finish with them so you don't get lost. Organizing your metrics into a single, globally styled block reduces the cognitive load for anyone reading your report. They absorb the information faster because the layout is predictable. Now that the primary layout is established, we have to inject analytical context. A top-line sales number is practically meaningless unless we compare it directly against a baseline, like the budget or the previous year's performance. To make room for those comparisons, we adjust the callouts. We shrink the font size of the primary values and move the text labels from the top of the card down to the bottom. This mockup highlights the Reference Labels menu. We use this specific tool to inject secondary metrics, like our previous year and budget data, directly beneath the main KPI. When adding variance details, many users select the All setting and find the options completely grayed out. To bypass this error, you simply select a specific individual label from the drop-down menu. Targeting a single metric instantly unlocks the detail settings. This logic tree shows how conditional formatting evaluates the data. We set a strict threshold. If the variance drops below 0, the system applies a red alert. If it stays above 0, it applies a green success indicator. If layering in this extra text makes the card look cramped, you can repair the design by opening the Arrangement menu, switching the layout to horizontal, and centering the alignment. With these automated logic rules active, the dashboard flags performance drops or budget overages automatically, which removes the need for manual data checks. We can take this exact same architecture and apply it to a completely different task, building a custom, image-driven personnel profile card. Pay close attention to where you place the image. If you add it to the callout section, it locks to the text. We want to place it in the independent card section, so it remains a separate adjustable object. In this mockup, clicking Select from Data maps a dynamic URL string from your dataset directly to the card. Setting the image fit to fill creates a perfect profile picture. With the profile picture anchored, we use the Reference Labels tool to layer in localized metadata, like the manager's assigned city and their website. The default text titles for those specific fields take up unnecessary space. We clean up the clutter by selecting Custom and replacing the text with standard Windows emojis, like a map pin and a globe. Finally, we adjust the layout sequence. We stack the Z order so the callout sits on top, followed by the reference label and then the image. This yields a clean, structured ID badge aesthetic. Adapting a tool designed for financial metrics to generate employee profile cards shows that these layout settings can be reconfigured for nearly any data type in your model. On the left, you see the plain text boxes most developers settle for. On the right, the customized multi-card and hero interfaces we successfully engineered. Watch these geometric tiles cascade from red to green. When an end user applies a dashboard filter, your logic rules fire instantly, automatically recoloring the entire interface to reflect the live data. Your viewers will assume you spent hours writing custom code to achieve this output, but the entire build requires only a precise sequence of formatting clicks. Clearer presentation directly impacts how quickly stakeholders can act on your findings. When the data is this accessible, the focus shifts from simply reading the report to making decisions based on it.